Are you running a service-based business right now, building your team, wondering how you can get to 20, 30 grand a month? What I'm going to do in this video is explain exactly how I got my service-based business to 30 grand a month revenue using the power of content. To give you a bit of context, my first company was a grounds maintenance gardening company. At its peak, we got to a point where there was about 10 of us in the company, some full-time, some ad hoc, some part-time, a mixture of self-employed and employees. And with that, the revenue, we was hitting £30,000 a month. I still have that company, it's just reduced much lower down. I'll go through, in a later part of the video, I'll explain exactly what the story is there and how at one point it felt like an absolute avalanche collapsing over the top of me. But that'll come later. What in this video I want to go through is how content that I created for the business became a huge asset and valuable in building that business and helping me get to a point where the business could achieve 30 grand a month consistently. And what that should do for you is give you some great ideas around how in building your service-based business, what type of content you can put out and how it can be part of building your business, and realize the power it has when done right, done consistently for a prolonged period of time. Let's dive in. So first, the backstory. My first company, as I mentioned, was in gardening. As I was growing my team, I got to, as I said, about 10 of us in the company. And at one point, it got to a point where I could buy a new van, tool it up, I could go and find 2 people very quickly, and within a month or 2, I would have a list of regulars that those 2 were going out and maintaining, giving them a full round of work and giving the company another chunk of revenue. The big issue came for me at that time was retaining my staff. I actually made a whole host, if anyone's ever spoken to anyone that was employed by me, they'll know that I made a whole host of mistakes in managing my team. While I could attract great talent and attract great clients for them to work for, what I lacked was the ability to really manage a team and maintain it. And the big part of that was that my love and my passion was in the marketing, the branding, and that became ever more apparent to me the longer I spent in business and being tied down in the operations, in the day-to-day runnings of the business. While I loved theorizing it and systemizing it in the background, I could spend hours on end looking at how we did what we did. But the actual day-to-day involvement with the team, being out on the tools, that's where I really lacked the skill set, and that's where I needed a partner to work with or a whole different business. That's where I've got myself out of the company. I'm no longer involved in the day-to-day runnings. I instead am based in the background, in the system side of things, in the market and the strategy, the systemization of it. So now I'm in a position where I get to run a company, spend most of my time doing something that I absolutely love and I'm obsessed with and I've got the skill set for, and then the things that I'm not so great at, I've got people to help me with that. So going back to in this company, how was it that with content I could have something working so efficiently for me? What it was in 2 pillars. I had content that would attract great clients and content that would, on the other pillar, attract great team. Although 2 separate things and 2 pieces of content separately built or separately created, they did overlap. As an example, if you had a piece of content going out that was promoting the roles available in your company and talked through the journey, the value you offer, the benefits or training, that sort of thing, is again with a great imagery and great copy around that process, the story of it, the journey that someone will come on board and what the culture is built in within your company. While that is specifically targeted at bringing on a new employee, what that does for your prospective clients is it shows them an insight into your business, into the behind the scenes, into the type of people that are going to be working for them on their, well in this example, in their garden. And likewise, sharing great content designed to find the right clients and being really specific about who you're trying to attract, that can bode well for finding the right staff in the fact that you're giving away the insights and information into the type of work that you do. And it could be the type of thing that for the right staff member, that's what they want to be doing. And they think, brilliant, I really love the idea of working for a company that's doing this work. I want to be working, like for us, a lot of it was private homes, it was large commercial jobs and some beautiful commercial properties. So for the right person, they think, brilliant, that's the type of work I get to work on. That's the type of thing I want to be doing. So the 2 could really complement each other in that regards. And in those 2 pillars, I really dive deep to understand who it is I'm trying to attract. And in that content, it's a case of understanding who is it I'm really trying to speak to. So for me, it was the geography of where these properties were, who the people that were managing them or living in them or running them, who they were. What is it that was frustrating them? What experience had they had with their previous grounds maintenance contractors and gardeners that was putting them down or actually worked really well for them? And then the more I could extract that information from people, and a lot of it was asking my clients and other people around me or others in the industry, but the more information I could find on that, it gave me the right ideas to then obviously convey and put across in my content. And that was the same for staff. What are people looking for in a great job? What is the experience that people have had before that was good and bad? And how can I utilize that to make content and even structure my company based on the idea of here's the feedback I'm getting, and I know what people are finding good, what people are finding bad. So if I structure my company in this way, it then means the content that goes out is sharing that knowledge and sharing those stories and being transparent, authentic, and really trying to connect with people before they even meet us, before they actually experience the company, whether that's as an employee or as a client. This was all a long journey. So over those months and years that I learned this, was then a case of crafting a lot of content. I found I was spending a lot of my time making videos, creating infographics, writing all kinds of blog articles and whatnot, just to try and convey all of this value, this messaging, really speak to the people I'm trying to draw into the business. And it worked well. It worked really well. As I said earlier in the video, it got to a point where with this content, because I had so much of it, vast amounts of videos that I was putting out on YouTube and then cutting them up and turning them into smaller videos for my social media, and then turning that content into infographics, again for social media, which then became content on the website as well. Because I had so much of it and I was drip feeding it week after week, month after month, year after year, it established an authority. It meant that we became a garden company putting out more content than anyone else around. And what that meant was that when people were researching to find the right gardener, whether that was to find a gardener to work in a garden or to find the right company to work for, it meant that essentially we had the most content. When I thought of competitors, I was looking at who are the likes of the national companies or large franchises. What are they putting out and how can I elevate myself above that so we become even more attractive to great staff, to great clients? Which actually led to some funny conversations, because I had a lot of people that would meet me and just be like, hold on, you're the owner of the company. What? And you've kind of got this small base and there's 3 vans and there's a team of 10. Well, I thought you had like 100 people. But no, we conveyed ourselves much bigger. The loud new kids on the block kind of thing. But all of that content was designed to speak to those people so I could drip feed it time again. As I said, year after year, I was thinking for the long term. And that's exactly what the right content can do for your business, is finding that vision that you want and seeing how that business will be portrayed in the future and doing that today, creating content that speaks to those people you need to attract to fulfill this business vision that you've got. And that's exactly what I was doing and building up. As I said, my mistake was managing the team. Definitely made a lot of mistakes there. But what it meant was, by setting this right foundation, it automated the growth of my company. It was drawing in the right people to work in the vans, on the tools. It was drawing in the right people for that team to go out and work on. So it automated the growth of my company to where, as I said, I could just buy a van. I knew what it would take and who the people I was trying to attract and find. And I knew how long it would take me, a month or two, to go and get the work that I needed for them to be out with a full diary and the business making more revenue. And that was a system. Had I not made the mistakes, it's something I've had to work on a lot since, in how to manage people, how to really communicate and be a better listener, be less robotic. But for me, it was in a different company. And that's where, as I took a step back and really reflected a lot on what I was doing in the interim while I was reducing that company down, I realized where my love and my passion was in the whole content side of things. It was being creative. It was the brand and the marketing. And put that in conjunction with my love and my obsession with business, if I could do the two together, it'd be my dream career, building a business that is for businesses. And that's where the life of Pink Panda began. And that's where the company's vision and what the dream has become about. It's all around working with business owners on their business to help craft the right content. So if you like the idea of content that automates the growth of your company, then let's have a chat. As I said, all these details, it's what I created in the content I did, and that's now what Pink Panda does. But if you want to know more information and know specifically what content was my company putting out and how did it attract the right staff, how did it attract the right clients, let's have a chat, let's grab a coffee, talk some ideas. Because that's what we do at Pink Panda. We create content with a purpose. Your website, your social media, flooded with content, drip feeding your message to elevate your authority and attract the right people. In one package, getting videos, reels, carousels, infographics, blog articles, all the mediums you need to showcase your value.